The time having arrived, I declare this regularly scheduled meeting of the Brockton City Council open. Please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before you start, councillors, I want to make you aware, Ward 2 Councillor Maria Tavares is under the weather and will not be joining us. Ward 6 Councillor Jack Lally is unable to join us tonight. Ward 7 Councillor Shirley Asak is also unable to join us tonight. Thank you. Mr. Clerk. Mr. Clerk, I've got Councillor Farwell.
Madam President, a moment of personal privilege.
Yes.
Madam President, I'd like to ask for a moment of silence for former Ward 2 School Committee member and former member of the Southeastern Regional School Committee, Glenna Riley. Glenna lived on Brett Street in Ward 2. She served the city during the time that I was mayor. She served the school committee well and served the Southeastern Regional School Committee well. She was absolutely committed to education and to the children of this city, and I would simply ask for a brief moment of silence. Thank you, Madam President.
May she rest in peace. Mr. Clerk.
Item number 1, acceptance of the minutes of the May 8th, 2023 City Council meeting.
Accepted and placed on file.
We have a report of the Finance Committee for its meeting of May 15th, 2023.
Accepted and placed on file.
Hearings. We have the petition of Gen 3 Realty LLC of 568 Montello Street, Brockton, Mass. for a garage and flammable storage underground license transfer located at 568 Montello Street, Brockton, Mass. In City Clerk's office, August 14th, 2023. Hearing assigned for May 22nd, 2023. Fire Department has no objections. All paperwork is on file.
The time having arrived, I declare this hearing open. Is there anyone here in favor? If so, please come forward, give your name and address to the clerk.
Michael Nicoli. I am in favor of this.
And you're with Gen 3 Realty LLC.
Correct.
Is there anything you'd like to say to us this evening?
No, thank you for granting the transfer.
Okay. You're optimistic.
I am.
Is there anyone else here in favor? All right. Then I declare that portion of the hearing closed. Is there anyone here in opposition? If so, give your name and address to the clerk. And there's no one. Then I declare that portion of the hearing closed. Councilors, the question comes on transferring the license by a hand vote. All in favor?
Just on the motion. Sorry,
Okay.
I apologize. Obviously, this has to be cleared by the fire department. I just want to make sure that all...
The Fire Department has no objections, and all paperwork is on file in our
The
office.
paperwork that was forwarded to you included that.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. Thank you.
Then again, I'll say, all in favor? Anyone opposed? Thank you. It carries.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Item number 4, we have the petition of Kenneth Tavares, DBA Always Easy Auto Body of 14 Healy Road, Weymouth, Weymouth, Mass. 02188 for a garage license transfer located at 451 Montello Street, Brockton, Mass. 02301. In City Clerk's office, November 18th, 2022. Hearing assigned for May 22nd, 2023. Fire Department has no objections, and all paperwork is on file.
The time having arrived, I declare this hearing open. Is there anyone here in favor? If so, come forward. Please give your name and address to the clerk.
Kenneth Tavares.
And your address?
14 Healy Road, Weymouth, Massachusetts.
Thank you. Would you like to make a statement to the City Council, Mr. Tavares?
Thank you.
Another optimist. Okay. Is there anyone else here in favor? If not, I declare that portion of the hearing closed. Is there anyone here opposed to this evening? So please come forward, give your name and address to the clerk. Okay, there being no one else here in opposition, I declare that portion of the hearing closed. Councilors, any questions or concerns with this application? Okay, then the question comes on transferring the license by a hand vote. All in favor? All opposed? Thank you. It is transferred.
Thank you, guys.
You're Good luck.
Item number 5, we have a communication from the DPW Engineering Superintendent requesting the layout and acceptance of Lawson Terrace from the end of the 1968 layout easterly as outlined in the draft council order.
Accepted and placed on file.
We have a communication from the DPW Engineering Superintendent requesting the layout and acceptance of Fields Avenue from Pleasant Street to Prospect Street as outlined in the draft council order.
Accepted and placed on file.
We have a communication from the DPW Engineering Superintendent requesting the layout and acceptance of Ida Ave, extending from Court Street to Hobson Street, as outlined in the draft council order.
Accepted and placed on file.
We have a communication from the city auditor requesting a transfer in the amount of $239,000 from auditing personal services non-overtime to the following budgets. Auditing mail purchase of services, $127,000. Auditing purchase of services, $110,000. Auditing personal services overtime, $2,000. These transfers are being requested to cover unanticipated expenses for the remainder of the fiscal year.
Accepted and placed on file.
Communication from the mayor recommending the same.
Accepted and placed on file.
Communication from the CFO relative to the same.
Accepted and placed on file.
We have a communication from the Director of Planning and Economic Development requesting to restore $100,000 previously appropriated funds, that should be previously requested funds, to the Planning and Economic Development 40R Smart Growth Fund.
Accepted and placed on file.
Communication from the mayor recommending the same.
Accepted and placed on file.
Communication from the CFO relative to the same.
Accepted and placed on file.
We have a communication from the mayor in accordance with the general laws of Massachusetts, Chapter 44, recommending that the City Council authorize the transfer of $1,300 from Finance Other Contract Services to Finance Out-of-State Travel in order to cover unanticipated expenses for the remainder of the fiscal year.
Accepted and placed on file.
Communication from the CFO relative to the same.
Accepted and placed on file.
We have a communication from the Chief of Police requesting acceptance of a donation of donated monies from Northeastern Savings Bank for $1,000. The bank is generously providing the necessary funds to ensure that the first responder community jamboree took place.
Accepted and placed on file.
Communication from the mayor recommending the same.
Accepted and placed on file.
Communication from the CFO relative to the same.
Accepted and placed on file.
Ordinance. Whereas the city has a commission on diversity which has not consistently met in over a year or longer, and whereas the mayor made 2 recent appointments of residents who are willing to serve as members of the commission on diversity, but they have not had any opportunity to contribute to our community, and whereas the ordinances of the city of Brockton required an annual report from the commission on diversity, which has not been submitted for at least 2 years, be it ordained by the city council of the city of Brockton. Article 2, Division 6 is deleted in its entirety. In its place is inserted the following: an ordinance establishing a Commission on Human Rights, Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion in the City of Brockton.
Madam President, I'd move that we waive the complete reading of this as it is printed in the record, and it also appears on the agenda website for the City of Brockton.
Second.
Okay, I've got a motion that's been properly made and seconded. All in favor? Opposed? Thank you. That motion carries.
Thank you, Councilor. This ordinance shall take effect 90 days after approval to allow for appointment and confirmation of members of the Commission. In City Council, August 22nd, 2022, read and referred to the Standing Committee on Ordinance. That report was favorable. Sent back to the full City Council, referred to Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Committee. That report was favorable as amended. In City Council, May 8th, 2023, passed to a 3rd reading as amended by a hand vote.
The question is on ordination as amended by a roll call vote. Will the clerk please call the roll?
D'Agostino?
Yes.
Farwell?
Yes.
Mendez?
Yes.
Minicello?
Yes.
Nicastro?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Texera?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
8 in the affirmative.
The ordinance is ordained as amended.
Ordinance, an ordinance amending Article 4, Division 4, City Clerk, and Article 4, Division 2, City Auditor, to establish the City Clerk as the clerk to the Standing Committee on Finance. In City Council, April 10th, 2023, read and referred to the Standing Committee on Ordinance. That report was favorable. In City Council, May 8th, 2023, passed to a 3rd reading by a hand vote.
The question is on ordination by a roll call vote. Will the clerk please call the roll?
D'Agostino?
Yes.
Farwell?
Yes.
Mendez?
Yes.
Minicello? Nicastro?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Texera,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
8 in the affirmative.
The ordinance is ordained.
Item 21, ordinance, an ordinance to rename the position of Superintendent of Public Buildings as the Commissioner of Buildings. In City Council, April 10th, 2023, read and referred to the Standing Committee on Ordinance. That report was favorable. In City Council, May 8th, 2023, passed to a third reading by a hand vote.
The question is on ordination by a roll call vote. Will the clerk please call the roll?
D'Agostino,
Yes.
Farwell,
Yes.
Mendez.
Yes.
Minicello,
Yes.
Nicastro.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Texera,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
8 in the affirmative.
The ordinance is ordained.
Item 22, ordered that the City Council approves the acceptance of the local option, increasing the retirement board member's stipend from $3,000 to $4,500 in accordance with Section 34 of Chapter 176 of the Acts of 2011, Mass General Laws, Chapter 32, Section 20-6. In City Council, May 8th, 2023, read and referred to the Standing Committee on Finance. That report was favorable.
The question is on adoption by a roll call vote. Will the clerk please call the roll?
D'Agostino,
Yes.
Farwell,
Yes.
Mendez.
Yes.
Minicello,
Yes.
Nicastro.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Texera,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
8 in the affirmative.
The order is adopted.
Item 23, ordered that the City Council approves the acceptance of a 2% COLA increase in the maximum base amount upon which the COLA is calculated for the Brockton retirement pension payments for fiscal year 23, retroactive to July 1st, 2022. In City Council, May 8th, 2023, read and referred to the Standing Committee on Finance. That report was favorable.
Councilor Farwell.
Madam President, members of the council, because I am a member of the retirement system, and if this is approved, I would directly benefit from this only by $280, but that's not the point. I would like the record to reflect that I'm recusing myself and not participating in any vote.
Thank you. The question is on adoption by a roll call vote. Will the clerk please call the roll?
D'Agostino,
Yes.
Mendez.
Yes.
Minicello,
Yes.
Nicastro.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Texera,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
7 in the affirmative.
The order is adopted.
Item 24, ordered that the following named sum be, and the same is hereby transferred, as the same was submitted by the mayor as follows. Transfer of $1 million from Department of Public Works Highway Purchase of Services to Stabilization Fund. In City Council, May 8th, 2023, read and referred to the Standing Committee on Finance. That report was favorable.
The question is on adoption by a roll call vote. Will the clerk please call the roll?
D'Agostino,
Yes.
Farwell,
Yes.
Mendez.
Yes.
Minicello.
Yes.
Nicastro.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Texera,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
8 in the affirmative.
The order is adopted.
Item 25, resolve, whereas the City of Brockton was required to, and the City Council did adopt on December 22nd, 2019, the Stormwater Control Ordinances, revised ordinances, Sections 23-131, to comply with the stormwater program of the National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System, promulgated by the U.S. Department of Environmental Protection. And whereas the purpose of said ordinance is to effect proper management of stormwater runoff and its control facilities in a prudent manner to comply with state and federal environmental regulations. And whereas said ordinances provide at Sections 23-132 and -135 for the imposition of a stormwater utility fee to fund stormwater services and payable into a special dedicated fund. Whereas said fee is intended, as stated in Section 23-135 to be, operated in the manner that the existing sewer and water utilities are operated. And whereas since the city began billing property owners for said stormwater utility fees, there have been repeated problems with the billings, including inaccuracies and duplicate billings, and how the bills are calculated, as well as the need to clarify the amounts now being raised. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Brockton City Council to invite the Commissioner of Public Works, Patrick Hill, the Treasurer-Collector, Martin Brophy, and CFO, Troy Clarkson, to appear before the Finance Committee of the Brockton City Council to discuss billing issues and such other related issues as may arise. By separate resolve, the members of the Stormwater Authority will be invited to discuss the uses of the funds raised and other related issues. In City Council, February 27, 2023, read and referred to the Standing Committee on Finance. That report was favorable.
The question is on adoption by a hand vote. Councilors, please vote. All in favor? Opposed? Thank you. The resolve is adopted.
Item 26, resolved. Be it resolved to invite the members of the Stormwater Authority and its chair, City Engineer Chike Odonowiki, to appear before a committee of the Brockton City Council to discuss the work and operations of the Stormwater Authority and such other related matters as the council deems relevant. In City Council, March 27, 2023, read and referred to the Standing Committee on Finance. That report was favorable.
The question is on adoption by a hand vote. All in favor? All opposed? Thank you. The resolve is adopted.
Item 27, ordered that the common necessity and convenience of the inhabitants of the city of Brockton require the laying out and acceptance of Lawson Terrace, extending from the end of the 1968 layout easterly, a distance of 509.96 feet, and for that purpose, it is necessary to take an easement for highway purposes and lay out as a public street or way as said city of Brockton, said easement passing by or over lands on the attached Exhibit A. Also on the attached plan of land in Brockton, Massachusetts, drawn by Haywood, Boynton, and Williams, surveyors, in Plan Book 034, pages 875 through 6, and Lawson Terrace Extension, Plan Book 049, page 051. You can, I wasn't going to read the rest, but
Okay.
you want me to?
Just
Said layout of Lawson Terrace is bounded and described as follows. Beginning at a point in the northerly line of Lawson Terrace at the easterly terminus of the 1968 layout of said Lawson Terrace, said point being further located north 12 minutes, 6 seconds east, a distance of 299.43 feet from the easterly line of Copeland Street, then north 04, 47 minutes, 54 seconds, west a distance of 0.99 feet, then north 84, 52.35 east, in the northerly line of Lawson Terrace, a distance of 510.5 feet, to a point at the easterly terminus of said Lawson Terrace, then south 0319-08 east, in said easterly terminus, a distance of 42.02 feet, to a point, said point being at the easterly terminus of the southerly line of Lawson Terrace, then south 84, 52.35 west, in the southerly line of said terrace, a distance of 509.42 feet, to the end of the aforesaid 1968 layout, said point being further located north 85-1206, east, a distance of 300.57 feet from the easterly line of Copeland Street, and then north 04-4754 west, a distance of 42 feet to the point of beginning. The land taken is more fully described as follows. All the land within the limits of a private way known as Lawson Terrace, supposed to belong to parties unknown, being a strip of land variable in width extending from the end of the 1968 layout of said Lawson Terrace, easterly a distance of 509.96 feet, as shown in the previously described plans, together with a drainage and turnaround easement in and over lots numbered 4 and 5, as shown in the first herein described plan. Reference is hereby made to plans 1 and 2 above for a more particular description, and we have considered and estimated the damages sustained by all persons who have not waived damages in their several estates as follows. No awards.
referred to Planning and Finance.
Ordered that the common necessity and convenience of the inhabitants of the city of Brockton require the laying out of Fields Avenue, extending from Pleasant Street northerly to Prospect Street, a distance of 332.52 feet, and for that purpose it is necessary to take an easement for highway purposes and lay out as a public street or way of said city of Brockton, said easement passing by or over lands of those persons shown on Exhibit A, attached hereto, and parties unknown. Said layout of said street being 32 feet in width is shown more particularly on a plan entitled Street Layout and Acceptance Plan of Fields Avenue, Station 0+00 to 3+32.52 in Brockton, Plymouth County, Massachusetts. Said plan drawn by JDE Civil at a scale of 1 inch to 30 feet and dated May 4th, 2023, is to be recorded herewith and made a part of this taking. Said layout of said street is bounded and described as follows. Beginning at a point in the northerly line of Pleasant Street at its intersection with the easterly line of Fields Ave, thence northerly 0919-0 east in said easterly line of Fields Avenue, a distance of 337.50 feet to a point in the southerly line of Prospect Street, then north 72 to 21 to 42 west in said southerly line of Prospect Street, a distance of 14.82 feet to a point of curvature in said southerly line. Then, by a curve to the left of 800 feet radius, a distance of 17.49 feet to a point in said southerly line, said point being the intersection of the southerly line of Prospect Street with the westerly line of Fields Avenue, thence southerly 09190 west in the westerly line of Fields Avenue, a distance of 327.34 feet, to a point in the northerly line of Pleasant Street, and then south 560512 east in said northerly line of Pleasant Street, a distance of 35.19 feet to the point of beginning. The land being taken is more fully described as follows. All the land within the limits of a private way known as Fields Avenue, supposed to belong to parties unknown, being a strip of land 32 feet in width, extending from Pleasant Street northerly, a distance of 332.52 feet to Prospect Street as shown on the previously described plan, to which reference is hereby made. Said plan to be recorded herewith and made a part of this taking, and we have considered and estimated the damages by all persons who have not waived damages in their several estates as followed. No awards.
Referred to Planning and the Finance Committee.
Item 29, ordered that the common necessity and convenience of the inhabitants of the city of Brockton require the laying out and acceptance of Ida Avenue, extending from Court Street to Hobson Street, a distance of about 860 feet, more or less, and for that purpose it is necessary to take an easement for highway purposes and lay out as a public street or way of said city of Brockton, said easement passing by or over lands of those persons shown on Exhibit A, attached hereto and parties unknown. Said layout of said street, being 42 feet in width, is shown more particularly on a plan entitled Section 4, Indian Heights at Brockton, Brockton, Mass., developed by Campanelli Homes, Inc., scale 1 inch to 40 feet, December 1st, 1956, drawn by Bradford Sivert, C.E., Quincy, Mass., and recorded at Plymouth County Registry of Deeds in Plan Book 11, page 131. The land taken is more fully described as follows. All the land within the limits of a private way known as Ida Avenue, supposed to belong to parties unknown, being a strip of land 42 feet in width with curved corners at Court Street, extending from said Court Street to Hobson Street, a distance of about 860 feet, more or less, as shown on the herein described plan, to which reference is hereby made for a more particular description. And we have considered and estimated the damages sustained by all persons who have not waived damages in their several estates as follows. No awards.
Referred to Planning and the Finance Committee.
Item 30, that the following named sum be and the same is hereby transferred as the same was submitted by the mayor as follows. Transfer of $239,000 from Auditor's Personal Services non-overtime to Auditing Mail Purchases of Services, $127,000. To Auditing Purchase of Services, $110,000. To Auditing Personal Services Overtime, $2,000, in order to cover unanticipated expenses for the remainder of the fiscal year.
Referred to Finance.
Item 31, ordered that the following named sum be and the same is hereby transferred as the same was submitted by the mayor as follows. Appropriation of $100,000 from Certified Free Cash to Planning and Economic Development, 40R Smart Growth Fund, $100,000.
Referred to Finance.
Ordered that the following named sum be and the same is hereby transferred as the same was submitted by the mayor as follows. Transfer of $1,300 from Finance, Other Contract Services to Finance Out-of-State Travel in order to cover unanticipated expenses for the remainder of the fiscal year.
Referred to Finance.
Ordered that the City Council authorizes the acceptance and expenditure of a donation in the amount of $1,000 from Northeastern Savings Bank to the Brockton Police Department. The donation is for the First Responder Community Jamboree.
Referred to Finance. Councilors, are there late files? Councilor Minicello.
Motion for late file, which is in the hands of the city clerk.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion's been made and seconded. All in favor? And all opposed? Thank you. The motion carries.
Late file, resolved. Be it resolved by the Brockton City Council to invite representatives from Wildlands Trust and Old Colony Planning Council to provide an update on the DW Field Park Initiative and summarize results of the community survey recently conducted.
Referred to Finance. Councilor D'Agostino.
Actually, Councilor Asak asked me to introduce that same late file, so.
Oh, there is a second
I'm
late
sorry.
file.
Oh, there is?
There's a second one.
Oh, there's a
I read
second.
the wrong one
Yeah.
first.
Oh, okay.
Why don't you do the second one?
All right. I have a late file.
Second?
Thank you. The motion's been made and seconded. All in favor? Opposed? Thank you. It carries.
We have a late file. We have a communication from the Executive Health Officer requesting a City Council transfer from Board of Health Personal Services other than overtime to the overtime line in the amount of $10,000.
Referred to Finance.
Actually, that's communication accepted and placed on file.
Accepted and placed on file.
We have a communication from the Mayor recommending the same.
Accepted and placed on file.
Communication from the CFO relative to the same.
Accepted and placed on file.
Now I have an order that the following named sum be and the same is hereby transferred as the same was submitted by the Mayor as follows. Transfer of $10,000 from Health Department Personal Services other than overtime to Health Department overtime in order to cover unanticipated expenses for the remainder of the fiscal year.
Referred to Finance. Councilors, before I ask for councilor recognition, I just wanted to mention, next week Memorial Day falls on the 5th Monday of the month, and as such, we will not be having a meeting next week, so I'll see you on Monday, June 5th. Okay? And at this time, do we have any councilors' recognitions? Councilor D'Agostino.
I have two items. The first, I just want to thank the folks at Commonwealth Alternative Care this past Friday. They spent 2 hours picking up trash over at Fields Park. They've done this before, and I wanted to recognize them again for giving us the time to, clean up the park. Also, just a reminder, Wednesday, May 24th, that's this Wednesday at 6 p.m., is another workshop at South Middle School regarding the redevelopment of Campello. This will be building off of last month's workshop, another interactive activity, this time focused on business and economic development in the neighborhood. This will be more of an open house style workshop, multiple stations to visit where participants can provide their input. And so I just want to make sure everybody was aware of that as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Councilor Thompson.
Thank you, Madam President. Just a few things. Number one, there was a community cleanup event at Salisbury Park and Snow Park on Sunday. I just want to thank everybody who came out to participate. A lot of cleaning was done, and we appreciate everyone's efforts in that cleanup. Secondly, starting today to May 26th at approximately 8 a.m., the Veteran Services Office is seeking volunteers to help place American flags on the graves over at Melrose Cemetery. So we're hoping that anybody who would have some time in the morning to come out to Melrose and help the Veteran Services Office place those American flags on the headstones in preparation for Memorial Day, which would bring me to my last, since we're not going to have a meeting next week, I want to invite the whole community to come out on Monday, May 29th, which is Memorial Day, for the City of Brockton's Memorial Day Parade. This parade is going to be put on by our Veteran Services Department. It will be starting at 9:30. We'll line up at the War Memorial, which is on West Elm Street, and we'll step off at 10 a.m. At 9:30, the ceremony will be completed at Brockton City Hall Amphitheater. This is a great event every year. Let's all come together and in memory of the service members who gave their lives in service of our country. So I hope to see you there. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, and I have two items. Stop and Shop Supermarkets chose Veteran Services in Brockton as the recipient of Bags for My Cause, and that's a program that means we will receive $1 from every $2.50 community bag sold in the month of May at the Stop and Shop on Montello Street. And so we pass this on to you. This will directly benefit our veterans. Perhaps you consider purchasing those bags to benefit our veterans. Thank you. And the last thing I wanted to say is there are many Brocktonians who are attaining college and advanced degrees this spring, and I congratulate all of them. However, right now I wish to particularly congratulate two Brocktonians. Ward 7 Shirley Asak's daughter, Alexander Yunes, is graduating magna cum laude from Boston College this weekend, and that's quite an accomplishment. And I congratulate her. And secondly, Ward 4 resident Edward Tuig is graduating cum laude from Suffolk Law School, and yes, he's my son, and I'm most proud. So thank you very much. Congratulations to everyone. Counselors, anything else? We are adjourned.